any of these things that you do, find someone that you can work with that's doing what you already want to do and learn from them. I think that that's really the key here, because when I was starting in the investment world, I became a mentee to someone that was absolutely so much further ahead than me at the time, that used to manage $5 billion in municipal bond funds. So I learned a ton from them. Money can be complicated. Let a nerd help you. We're here to demystify the complex nature of money by getting you answers from financial nerds and whiz kids. Welcome to Ask the Money Nerds, a weekly segment of the Wealth Labs podcast where we answer your most pressing money questions. We're in some wild and crazy times, right? There's going to be a bigger wealth transfer than any other time in human history. Those that are in the know are going to have an advantage. Those that are in the know and have access to capital are going to be in the driver's seat. What if you don't have enough cash right now? Or if you don't know what to do with all the chaos in today's economy? When trillions of dollars are added to the economy, investing of old just isn't going to work. Value is going to be lost. Accumulation by setting it and forgetting it, or investing early, often, and always, will do more harm than good. Now's the time to learn how to make money on the buy, have access to cash to move on amazing opportunities, and be able to create cash flow from day one rather than wait 30 years in a retirement plan to see if it's going to work out. If you're not sure where to start, what to do, how to protect yourself, and profit from this unprecedented opportunity, this is the session for you. All right, Stolba, I'm fired up.
You are riled up.
I was just messing with you, and you held it together. Good
I
job.
did. I kept a straight face.
I tried to use the word unprecedented, and you smacked me down.
I think we've used the word unprecedented an unprecedented amount of times as a society.
Okay.
Not necessarily you and I, but just everything is unprecedented these days.
Today?
We're going to answer Taylor's question. Okay. He says, I recently stumbled across your YouTube channel while listening to Robert Kiyosaki's Rich Dad Radio, and I love the content you are discussing on your channel. I'm 23 years old, and I do not have any purchased assets and have very limited liquidity. I understand we are in interesting times right now, and I want to be ready to capitalize on assets that may be going on sale over the next several years. The problem is that I do not have any education or experience on how to purchase businesses as assets, where to look for a business that is on sale, or how to reevaluate real estate. I understand that Rome was not built in a day, but I have a very strong desire to learn about investments and set up a promising life for my future family. That's impressive that he's thinking about that.
I like it.
At 23, I don't know if I was thinking about that. Were you?
All right.
At 23?
Yeah.
Here we go. Okay. He says, the problem is that I do not know where to turn in order to learn the valuable information and the lessons about acquiring businesses and real estate. So I've started with books from Robert Kiyosaki. I would appreciate any advice on events, seminars to attend, people to follow, or possibly meet, and classes to take in order to expand my knowledge and experience base. Any additional advice or thoughts you may have would be greatly appreciated too. Thanks for introducing me to a new thought process about wealth and wealth management.
I've actually got Forbes articles coming out with people that have expertise in real estate that I've interviewed, so be on the lookout for that. But let me give some advice here. Okay. The first thing is, if real estate's going to be where you go, that's fine. Just make sure it's part of your investor DNA. Values got to be there, right? As far as your personal values, your core competencies, you've got to develop those abilities. And then core drivers, you got to be interested enough in it to pay attention to it on a daily basis. And then focus instead of diversify. Put all eggs in one basket and watch it like a hawk. Really grow it. Really discover one thing at a time, become proficient or expert at it before spreading on to the next thing, or moving on to the next thing. So investor DNA is the first thing. The second is, I think Pounce investing is the term that they were using, whether it was in, Malcolm Gladwell's article forever ago that I turned you on to, or one that just came out in the Wall Street Journal with Charlie Munger. And the reality is, if you sit in cash or you start to accumulate enough cash, that when there's major opportunities, you can pounce and you can grab that distressed asset. That's going to be a major component for people to succeed. And far too many people are fully invested right now, not sure what's going to happen. And to say invested is maybe being kind, because most people are speculating, they're gambling. They've got their money in something they don't understand, how it's going to work, when it's going to benefit them, why it would go wrong, or, how to get out of it. So that's another important thing.
Yeah. And that's the important thing of knowing your investor DNA and becoming an expert in something, is you can sit tight and you don't have to respond out of fear or make a move out of scarcity and, everybody else is doing it, so I should too. But when you are more in alignment with yourself, then you can sit tight, so to speak.
Cool. I like it. So the next thing is, look towards partnerships to gain access to capital. There's people that, maybe you're willing to hustle and work and, and do things where other people have capital. And so there might be some partnerships you can get into, or you could go work for great real estate investors so you could learn the ropes by adding value to their life. So it might be an internship, and I'll see signs all the time for, investor seeks apprentice. And I think there's some recruiting that goes with that with certain educational programs. But, I've been on a lot of real estate podcasts, and I know quite a few good people in the real estate world. I was just texting with Kent Clothier, who has a program. Bob Snyder has a program. Glenn, who there's some good programs that we're featuring in those Forbes articles. So those could be really helpful. Now, real estate is one type of capital, but I think there's two other types of capital to be looking at as far as like real property. One is intellectual property, because I think that there's going to be an unprecedented amount of growth in that arena, and also small and private businesses.
Yeah.
So part of getting good with small and private businesses is find business brokers, right? Find people that are looking at deal flow all the time, and they're looking to sell those businesses, or they're kind of the middlemen for that. And there's books to read like Walker's book, Buy Then Build, that I endorse, which I think is really good there. So any of these things that you do, find someone that you can work with that's doing what you already want to do and learn from them. I think that that's really the key here, because when I was starting in the investment world, I became a mentee to someone that was absolutely so much further ahead than me at the time, that used to manage $5 billion in municipal bond funds. So I learned a ton from them. And I just traveled and used my young age, which he has at this point, to talk to people that may not have talked to me at my age now, because they wanted to pay it forward. So send emails, make phone calls, like who could you learn from? Like, who are the authors out there? Reach out to them and find out what you could get into, and even getting online courses, but definitely if it's real estate, you've got to dive in deep and really get this figured out, because a lot of people think, oh yeah, I'm just going to do that. But if you do it part-time, you're going against people that are full-time in that. I did a webinar recently for a real estate group, and they had all these lenders coming on and talking about what's going on, and suppliers that could provide specific services for them. And they had tools and analysis and software. So you've got to stack the odds in your favor and get those resources.
Yeah. Yeah. When you invest in real estate, when people are heavily invested in it, you're going against people with a full team of experts on their side. It's not just a one-man show. So yeah, I think that's really wise.
Cool. So turn your thoughts into profits and build the life you love.